couple of years, so let me just take this college course. And so I'm like, you know what, let me just put this aside. And I was praying, well, I was filling out the applications, doing all this stuff, and I was just praying. I remember just praying. I was working at a retail store, and this guy walked up to me and asked me if I was interested in making more money, if I kept my career options open. And I didn't know this guy. He just literally passed his state exam and walked up to me and said, hey, he was so excited, said, hey, listen, do you keep your options open? You know, do you keep your career opportunities open? I'm 18 years old, I'm like, yeah, of course, right? So I come up to the office, guys, and I was so excited at the opportunity that we got to share with families how to get out of debt, right, guys? How to save for retirement, all the stuff that we do, that we get that opportunity to do that, and we get to make money. Is that crazy or what, guys, right? Yeah. So I was excited about that, and so immediately I started inviting my friends down and all this fun stuff. So my grandmother and my mom, you know, anyone have people that drive them crazy to go to finish college? I'm talking about like the younger guys in here, right? And so my grandmother, every single time we get together for a family event, she'd say, ay, mija, when are you gonna finish school? When are you gonna go to school? Ay, mija. I was like the lost case, right? And then I go like, Grandma, you know, I'm gonna get this thing done, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then one year I got so fed up with it, and she goes, I said, Grandma, you know what? I did graduate school. And she goes, you did? And I go, yeah, I graduated. And then she goes, what did you graduate? And I go, I graduated, I got my licenses, and I graduated PFSU. And she goes, you graduated? Oh my God, what is this PFSU? I go, you don't know PFS University? And then she never bothered me again. And she started telling everyone, oh, mi hija, you know, like all the stuff that parents do. And guys, I'm telling you, this opportunity and that license has paid us more. And there's nothing with going to school. I think going to school is fabulous, right? If you want to go to school. But this license has paid us more than a 4-year college degree would have ever paid us. You understand that, right, guys? Yeah. So, you know, make this thing happen. If you're gonna plant your flag here, plant it, right? So, moving along, I started to do everything that they told us to. Started getting people, inviting people down, and so I got really good at recruiting and prospecting, right? Anyone like recruiting in here? Yeah. Right? Why? Because you get to give this opportunity to other people. So I started winning trips. Like we have Punta Cana coming up, right? All inclusive. I don't know about you guys, but all inclusive is really good, right? And so we started winning some trips, and I remember one trip I won. It was Boca Raton, Florida. I was like 20 years old or 20 something. I don't know, 20 something. But I wish I was 20 something, right? And I'm walking around, I have my little bikini on, and I'm walking around the beach, and I look over, and there's this guy right in the beach, and he's smiling like from cheek to cheek, and I'm like, hey, and then he's like smiling at me. It was Glen. And I smile at him as my husband today, but at that time he wasn't my husband. At that time he was a division leader. And I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't talking to no division leader, right? And I was like, hey, when you get that RVP contract, we'll talk, right? And if you get that ring, it's better, right? And so no, I wasn't a gold digger. He was actually the gold digger. I'll explain a little bit, right? And all of a sudden,
bank account at the time, okay? Didn't have credit cards because my credit was so screwed up that, you know, you can, thank God I didn't have credit cards because I probably would have spent so much I'd still be paying it back right now. Had no credibility, okay, very low credibility, because think about this. Now all of a sudden I joined Primerica, right? I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old, right? I remember sleeping in Washington Square Park, hanging out with the wrong people, right? But then at age 19, I moved back into my parents' house. You know, you never move out long, okay? So I moved back in at 19, and so when I joined Primerica, I was 23 years old. And now all of a sudden, you know, I have this relationship with my parents that first of all, they look at me like, what is this in my house? And then all of a sudden I turned from, you know, ignoring them to, hey, can you do me a favor? And, you know, because I joined Primerica. You got to mend your relationships, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of mending to do, okay? This was years and years of mending, okay? So I came to Primerica, didn't have a lot of credibility, and I remember my parents, you know, my parents, like they're great people, okay? But they don't read books about self-improvement. And my father was in retail his whole life. And so they came to this country for an opportunity, right? Nah, but thank you. Thanks. I'm gonna drown up here. Look at this. You know, like, but thank you. But you know what's crazy is when I joined Primerica, I had no credibility. So a lot of what I did was in the cold market. I didn't have sales skills like Widow talks about, people skills, right? I used to sit in the back of the room and I used to come to training, fold my arms. That was my effort because I did that in high school. And the very little that I had in college, that's what I used to do, okay? Leadership skills, people skills, next. And my work ethic was suspect, right? I used to think I was working. And I'm not going to talk about my how I got started in the beginning, but well, I am, okay, but watch. I remember coming to my first op meeting, and I'm sitting down, and I have one, like, Alan goes to me, he goes, Glenn, you gotta dress sharp. So I had no idea. He goes, no jeans and no sneakers. He goes, you gotta look to impress. So what I did was I ponytailed my hair, and I put all my nicest earrings on, you know, the best silver earrings I had. And I used to have combat boots, right? I used to wear combat boots and all that. So I worked in Applebee's for a little bit, so I still have, the only pants that I didn't have that were not jeans, that I had that weren't jeans, were my Applebee's khakis, and I still had stains on them, you know, from Applebee's. So I wore those, and I wore a button down. They go, you gotta wear a button down. He goes, no t-shirts. So I wore a button down, and like it was a flannel. The only thing with buttons I had was a flannel. He goes, you gotta wear a tie. So I went to Chinatown and I got 3 ties for like $5. And I put one tie on. So I came into my op meeting, and it was crazy because Alan drove me to my op meeting. If he didn't drive me, the op meeting was almost an hour away. My car was not gonna make it. So when he drove, if he didn't pick me up, guys, I probably would not have shown up. I definitely would not have shown up. So you gotta get your guys. Go pick your guys up. Does that make sense? Because the only thing you can't get rid of is a human body. You guys know what I'm talking about? So what? That's the hardest thing. So watch. So all of a sudden, I come to the op meeting. I'm sitting down, and then I thought I was there for an interview. So I'm sitting down. There's 7 other people in there. So in my mind, I go, oh, now I gotta compete against 7 other people. I go, what do I do? You know, I'm gonna win. So it was 7 other people, and then Alan brought another guy in. And this guy was dressed, he was in the military like Alan was, and he was dressed, he was in good shape, right? And he had a crew cut. It looked like he was wearing a tuxedo. Like everything this guy did was perfect. Sat perfect, so I had to adjust the way I sat, you know, and he was taking notes. The way he took notes was perfect, right? So the first 3 people that went up and spoke talked about financial services, right? And so when they talked about financial services, I was intimidated, but I knew I needed to learn because at that time I was aware I needed to change. You guys got me? Yeah. So all of a sudden I watched this guy, he's taking notes. It looked like he was taking notes and he was writing real neat. And then I looked over, I go, man, I gotta write neater. And he's paying attention. I go, I gotta sit up straighter than this guy. Because in my mind, I go, hey, the only 2 people with a chance in here is me and him. So I didn't know. I thought they had cameras looking at us and everything. And then the last person comes up, and it's Keith Otto. Keith Otto gets up, and you know, Keith Otto goes, he starts cursing. I go, man, I love this guy. And Keith goes, I never went to, I drove by a college, never went in. And I go, man, so I got a better education than this guy. Right? So Keith talks and he goes, one day you can make $10,000 in a month and then quit your part-time job. In my mind, I'm like, man, if I make $1,000 a month, I'm quitting my job. And I go, if I make $10,000 in a month, I'm taking the next 11 months off. Right? And Keith goes to me, he goes, well, at the end, I'm looking over at this guy, the first 3 speakers taking notes like crazy. Keith's talking about how jobs suck and everything, and he's talking about one day you can make so much money. He goes, and then I look over and this guy's falling asleep. I go, what the? I go, the best part of this meeting, and this guy's falling asleep. And I'm thinking, man, I got this job. I got this job. So at the end, they walk us towards Keith, because everybody introduces their guest to Keith, and Keith goes to the guy, to this guy, I forgot his name, he goes, man, what interested you the most? The guy goes, man, everything sounds interesting, but I got a lot on my plate. I go, a lot on your plate? He goes, I got a couple of job interviews tomorrow. I'm thinking, what on your plate's gonna make you $10,000 a month, right? And I'm thinking, didn't you hear Keith talk about jobs suck? And you're telling him you got a job interview? I go, you just don't get it. So he leaves, and then he comes up to me, he goes, what interested you? I go, everything. He goes, how soon can you get started? It was $199. You guys remember that? Yeah. Back then it was $199. EOL was like $100 a month. I forgot what it was.
Oh my God.
But it was crazy because $199. So I'm like, oh, right away. And in my mind, I didn't have $199. Like George was one of the guys I borrowed some money from. I went in, my father used to sell CDs and tapes. I took a lot of his CDs and I sold them, right? and that's how I got my $199. I came back on my $199, okay? That's how I got started in Primerica. Okay, but next, sorry. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of credibility, but the first thing is being aware that there's a reason why we're not where we want to be. Does that make sense? I think the first level of change is being aware. Okay, next. 2004 was when we got into regional vice president and we finally put on our ring. And then I'm telling you, like, because things started changing, we started recruiting 20, 30, 40, 50 people a month as regional leaders. Okay, next. 2009 was when we got our second diamond, okay? Okay, next. 2012, we put on our third diamond. Way too long, but you know what? At least we didn't quit. I was too stupid to quit. Go ahead. 440, okay? 2014. 591. Okay, 2016, 726. 2017. Last year we made 760. Listen, today if you don't jump 5 diamonds in a year, you know, you're telling yourself you're a loser. You know, I'm in the house, like I can't eat, I can't sleep, you know. All right, but watch. 2018, this is our goal to make $1.2 million this year, right? So, by the way, that was on 2017, last year when we did the same slide, okay? But I'm telling you, this last slide I'm gonna show you, listen, if we don't change, okay, the one thing is, the biggest thing in this company is it helped us change. If we don't change, okay, it's either the pain of change or the pain of regret. Okay, show this picture. Okay, it says English, I told you so. So, watch, and this really did happen to my mom, okay? But I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, it is so worth it. Okay, you'll get that later. But it's so worth it, guys, that like as good as Keith told us it was gonna be, and guys, by the way, we are frustrated like never before, but it's so worth it because we know there's so much more out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's so worth it being able to tell your parents that, listen, don't worry about money again. We got you. If you need anything, here's our checkbook. Just let me know before you write anything. But this is my checkbook. And it's so awesome watching what we did over the last couple of years come into fruition. Guys, let me tell you, we're not the end result, okay? There's so much more to go. Your leaders are the end result. Sam and Elaine are the end result. But there's so much more to go in this company. And I love the fact that it doesn't stop there. There's no ceiling, okay? But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys, okay? And thank you for your leaders.